Today's headlines. This is the Hal Lindsey Report. And now, Hal Lindsey.
Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of the Hal Lindsey Report. Actually, tonight we're going to do part 2 of Global Government Rising. We started this last week. And this has to do with a group of people who are seeking to bring about a one-world government. They're related. They are a group of international elitists, and such groups as the CFR, the Trilateral Commission, the Council on Foreign Relations is CFR, and the Bilderberg Group, and others like this have been working feverishly behind the scenes for many, many decades, seeking to bring about a one-world government. They see this as the only answer from the human viewpoint of how to avert disasters that they see coming, such as always the risk of a third world war with nuclear weapons. And then there is the problem they see as global climate change and the tremendous economic crisis that the world is in right now. Things of this nature have been used by these groups to bring about the kind of fear that will drive people to accept the relinquishing of national sovereignty, especially the United States, to relinquish its dependence upon a very special instrument called the Constitution and the congressional government, and to submit itself to a group of international elitists who believe that that's the only answer, a one-world government, to avert the disasters that they feel coming. Of course, this is a human viewpoint of how to solve this, and I must admit, if I didn't know the divine viewpoint expressed by God in the Bible of the nature of man, and the fact that in Bible prophecy it says that there will never be a successful world government that will bring peace and will bring prosperity and the good of mankind. And so I know that this is not going to work. But if you take God out of the equation, they believe that the only answer is to have an elite group or one man control the world government and keep people under its control so they won't go into a global war. Well, let's take a look at how this will happen. There are, in the Bible, prophecies about two personalities that are going to dominate the world in the final 7 years just before the end of history as we know it and the second coming of Christ. These two personalities are the most important men to know about right now, because I believe the conditions for their unveiling are growing very close. Now, in Revelation chapter 13, we have these two personalities introduced. The first one is in Revelation chapter 13, verses 1 through 10. Now, this first person comes out of the sea. And in the imagery and the symbolism of the book of Revelation, which is also used in the rest of the Bible, a restless, turbulent sea is a picture of the nations of the world in unrest and conflict. Well, out of this conflict of the nations of the world arises this one that Revelation 13 calls the beast. But he is a world ruler who's going to be unveiled that will come out of the remnants of the old Roman Empire and culture. It says that he's going to come out of the final form of the successive world empires the Bible predicted would come, and certainly have come and fallen as they were predicted. Now, this man is going to receive a mortal head wound. And the word means a fatal head wound. And the man is going to be miraculously raised up from that head wound. And it is this miraculous raising to life again that's going to give him immediate world prominence on a scale never before seen. Now, this man is a political man who's religious. And he will come to Rome, and out of Rome, he's going to rule. Now, I call this man the Roman Antichrist. The second personality is introduced in Revelation chapter 13, verses 11 through 18. This second person works hand in hand with the first. This second person says rises out of the land. It's translated earth, but tesgeis in this context means the land, and it's in contrast with the sea. So as the other one rose out of the sea, this one rises out of the land, and in context this refers to the land of Israel. And there are other prophecies which confirm that this man will be an Israelite. This man will rise and begin to show the same kind of miraculous powers that are given to the first Antichrist. And he is going to use those great satanically inspired powers to bring attention to the first Antichrist. But one of the most important things about his job, and one that fits right in with the things we studied last week, is the fact that he is going to cause all people to worship an image of the Roman Antichrist. And he requires that everyone in the world worship him. And to prove that they are a follower of him, he introduces an economic control that is ingenious. He requires every person on earth to show their allegiance to this Antichrist by receiving a mark that will enable them to buy and sell. Now let me read that particular part of that prophecy to you and show you exactly what this means. In Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 through 18, it says, and he, this one that is called the false prophet, he causes all the small and the great, the rich and the poor, the free men and the slaves, to be given a mark on their right hand or on their forehead. And he provides that no one should be able to buy or sell except the one who has the mark, either the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for the number is that of a man, and his number is 666. Now, there are certain technological marvels that had to be invented by man before this could be fulfilled. Remember, this was predicted 2,000 years ago. But yet, it says that the Roman Antichrist and his Jewish counterpart that we call a false prophet are going to have the ability to require every person on earth to receive a mark with a number. Now, this number, 666, is the number of the name of the Roman Antichrist, and to prove that they have sworn allegiance to him, they're going to have to receive that number as the prefix to their personal number, which all will have, identity number. And unless you have that prefix number of the Antichrist added to your number, you're not authorized to buy or sell or hold a job. Now just think of the technology that was required for them to be able to do this on a world scale. And we're not talking about being able to require a country or something like that. We're talking on a personal level of every person on the face of this earth being able to buy or sell. And these two personalities will be able to restrict that down to the personal level of each individual because of receiving that number. Now hold that thought, because I'll be back and show you how that's being set up right now. Folks, if you believe it's important to warn the world about the dangers of Islam, to call America to repentance